Hello, my friends. Hello. Today is a really good day. I've had a fantastic day, other than my anxiety being shit. But I'm making a video today because I want to. Also because I made a cheesecake and it's cooling right now. And I'm extremely proud of it in process. And so I figured, while the cheesecake is cooling and my son is napping, finally, I figured I would bring you along for some writing. All right. First thing I want to do is, so I have, I don't know if you remember last time, but I wrote a villanelle about motherhood, and I didn't like the first draft, but I was liking where the second draft was going. Well, now I'm gonna write the third draft, and what I'm gonna do is, instead of just numbering the lines 1 through 19, and just boom, 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 just writing it all out super close together, I'm gonna break it into those tercets and then that quatrain. So I'm going to do the tercets together, so the 3 lines, leave some space, 3 lines, leave some space, so that it's a little bit more spaced out, and then I can really do with it what I want, and it's like a transition of one thought to the next, and that way I'm not just getting a little blurry, which is I think what was happening last time. I've got my pens here. I'm going to make some notes on my draft 2. And then I think I'm going to, I'm going to make notes with orange. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and open up to a new page here. So what I've done so far, just in this short amount of time, to begin with, is numbered my page. So I have my 5 tercets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have my quatrain. And this is just, letting me know what's going on. This is kind of how I keep track of my writing. Like I said, I have the date, I have my poem draft number, I have my reference. And so now I'm just going to go back to the 7th of February when I did that villanelle, and I'm going to take my other colored pen, and I'm just going to make notes about how I want it to be. So here's what's happened. I've just taken a few minutes to make my notes. This is on draft 2, and I've just kind of made little notes about each tercet, so each 3 lines, about how I want it to progress. So I think that was my hardest. I think that's what I was a little bit frustrated with last time, was I didn't feel like it was actually progressing. I just felt like it was just word vomit over and over and over again, and it didn't have a clear, concise movement. And so that's what I wanted to do today, was just create that clear, concise movement, create that rhythm, that, okay, we're going from point A, which is just my son screaming and wailing and inconsolable, to him asleep, but me just completely drained and crying and having a moment myself. I think it's time to get back to this, and let's get writing. Okay, I'm back. So I went through and I looked at my notes and I wrote the changes I wanted. It's better. I like it. But there's still parts of this draft too that I kind of want to keep. So I almost want to write a new draft and keep those parts, but fit some of the new things I wrote into it. I don't know how this is going to work because I like my third draft, but I still really like half of my second draft. So I'm not sure if I need to just tweak the things that I didn't like, or if it's more along the lines of meshing what I wrote that's new with what's old. I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely closer to capturing that and really conveying it. I think it's just a matter of tweaking the imagery and really fixing it and fine-tuning it. I feel like I've fleshed it out pretty well. Now it's just a matter of, like I said, fine-tuning. For sure. Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and write a third one, which I don't know if I'm going to show you because I don't know how long this clip is going to be, but I feel kind of frustrated because it feels like I'm just now understanding how to write poetry. It feels like I'm just now learning, even though I spent years in college writing poetry and taking creative classes and learning craft, and it feels like I'm still at base one, just level one. It feels like I am not progressing. And perhaps I am. Perhaps I'm doing a lot better than I think. But I'm frustrated because it's taking me so long to get from the ugly, messy word vomit that is a first draft to the refined, fleshed out, fine-tuned later drafts. And maybe that's just because I haven't taken the time as I should to really fine-tune my poetry. Maybe it's just now that I'm learning that because it's just now that I'm actually doing it. Whereas in the past I've just written a poem, moved on, written a poem, moved on, written a poem. Now I'm actually taking the time to go back and say, okay, I had this idea, I liked this idea, what am I actually trying to say? What am I actually thinking about? And I think that's good, and I think that's important, especially as a writer. Like, I've learned to do that with writing, longer manuscripts, novels, but I'm still very much learning how to do that for my poetry, and that's kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go ahead, write this third draft, or fourth draft, I guess, see what I can see, and I'll talk to you after I get that done. Hello! It is the next day. It is Friday, the 22nd. So yesterday, I ended up writing 2 more drafts of the poem before I kind of gave up on a villanelle for that moment, because I was like, you know what, it's just not the right structure for what I'm trying to say, and so I gave it up, and almost immediately I could feel myself working, like creatively, like working through the problem and trying to find like other sentiments to express what I was feeling. And I fed my son, and while I was feeding my son, boom, like I had the first 2 lines start to pop in my head, and I was working on it, and I was like trying to flesh it out. And so I was like feeding my son and trying to like pull out my phone and write it down, and I got it, and I feel really good about it. But yeah, so I don't know. Today I just want to write, maybe work on this poem a little bit more, maybe write something else. I feel like I definitely enjoyed writing poetry yesterday, and even though I haven't really been working on my other manuscripts like I should be, I have been pretty faithfully doing poetry, and so I would like to maybe do some more of that today. And so got my handy dandy pens here. Let's see which one I'm feeling. I like that one. I'm a blue person. Today is the 22nd of February. I wrote a shortened poem. It's not very short, but I wrote a shortened poem about my experience with my anxiety at the DMV. And I tried to work on spacing and like how it looks and how it feels, and like trying to visually get that waiting in line person by person while also, I don't know, breathing stuff. Cool. Anyway, poetry. What even am I doing? I don't know. Anyway. But I would like to share with you the poem I wrote yesterday while I was feeding my son, and once I allowed myself to break out of the villanelle for this moment. I still remember your bedtime boon, a wordless, warbling, incessant tune. I tried to rock you, but soon my own voice shook just like a loon. Please God, I sang, for you to sleep. You sucked and soothed from bottle deep, and still my heart did long to reap that there would not be not one small peep. So there it is. I still went with the rhyming thing. I don't know, like whenever I think of like children and like my baby and like when I want to talk about things that are going on, I kind of want to revert back to that sing-songy, lullaby-esque, like everything rhymes, you know, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star style or whatever. And now that I'm throwing my notebook around, I think, yeah, no, thanks for coming on this Write With Me journey. I know there wasn't much to do this week. I have some pretty cool things I want to do next month for my Write With Me, which I think I want to do more regularly. I think I want to make my one a week video, a Write With Me. I think in March I'm planning on making a zine. I'm really inspired by Ariel Bissett and how she went and made a zine, and she recently just made another one, and I think she has a few videos about making zines. But I kind of want to make my own. I think that would be super cool. I'm gonna do that as a series, kind of do 4 videos about that in March. I think that would be super cool. I'm still reading and loving Housekeeping by Marilynne Robinson. I'm still, you know, still looking forward to all the things. Anyway, thanks for listening and watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.